Revelation 11 through 14 review. In Revelation 11, we have the two witnesses. In Revelation 12, we have the woman and the dragon. In Revelation 13, we have the beast, who is number 666. And in Revelation 14, we have the 144,000. So back in Revelation 11, a favorite verse in here is verse 11 about the two witnesses. But after the 3.5 days, a breath of life from God entered them, and they stood up on their feet, and great fear fell on those who saw them. So the people of the world had killed these witnesses and partied and given each other gifts because they were so glad to get rid of them. But then they heard a voice from heaven of God telling them to come up here, and they were raised from the dead and went up to heaven. And then their enemies, the people who saw it, were afraid. And a lesson I take from that is that we might have a hard time for a while, and it might seem like we're having a failure if we're faithfully serving Christ. But in the end, the Lord and his servants get the last laugh. In Revelation 12, it has the woman and the dragon. We find out the dragon represents the devil. And in verse 11, it's talking about those who got the victory over the devil, over the dragon. Revelation chapter 12, verse 11, that is verse 11, and they have conquered him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, for they love not their lives unto the death. So these people who got the victory over the devil, it was because it was by the blood of the Lamb and the word of their testimony, and they didn't love their lives, their own lives, even to the point of death. So that means for us, it makes me think of that we shouldn't be too self-centered. We shouldn't love our own things and make decisions from day to day on daily things based on just what I like or what I think, but rather on faithfully serving the Lord. And that's the way that we're going to be overcomers. And in this case, it was even to the point of shedding their blood and dying like Christ has done for us. So that was the chapter about the woman and the dragon in Revelation 12. We have 13 and 14 to review. Revelation 13 is about the beast, who is number 666. And the favorite verse in this chapter from me is verse 10. Revelation 13:10. If anyone is to be taken captive, to captivity he goes. If anyone is to be slain with the sword must he be slain. Here is a call for the endurance and faith of the saints. So it's talking about this period of time when the beast is around, and it ends this verse, here is a call for the endurance and faith of the saints. The word saints means holy, holy ones, holy people. And so I see in here endurance or patience and faith and a need for holiness. And that applies to us nowadays for us to be ready now with faith and patience and endurance in the things we're facing now, so that in a hard time like this, we would be ready and we would have that spiritual strength. Finally, Revelation 14 is about the 144,000. A favorite verse in here is verse 7. And he said with a loud voice, fear God and give him glory, because the hour of his judgment has come. And worship him who made heaven and earth, the sea and the springs of water. Usually I think of worshiping the Lord for his mercy and grace, and that's great too. But here I see worshiping the Lord and fearing the Lord for his judgment. And so we remember that he does have just judgment and punishment on those who do evil, for which he is to be feared. I see fearing him instead of fearing someone like the beast, under the threat of death or being killed or threatened to be killed or something like that. I see instead we need to fear the one who is the creator of all. And different characters in Revelation seem to have power in different realms. Some angels or beasts or such could do something maybe with the earth. Others could maybe do something with the sea. But we see the Lord as the one who is the creator of the heaven and the earth and the sea and the freshwater sources of rivers and springs and such. And the Lord is different from all the others, and he's far above all. And it's a great opportunity to worship him and to fear him and to think of his judgments. So that's our review of Revelation 11 through 14.